my Filipina wife leave me? According to many comments I constantly get, if they are correct and to be believed, my Filipina wife will be very soon leaving me. Am I worried? Well, you'll find out later in this video, as well as my huge challenge that I throw out there to all the people who say that my Filipina wife will leave me. So be sure to watch to the end of the video to see what this huge challenge is all about. Looking to date a Filipina, or already dating or married to a Filipina? I use my experiences around my relationship with my Filipina wife of 6 years, as well as my professional experience as a qualified relationship counsellor for over the past 10 years. Are you after resources, tips and information for a successful relationship with your Filipina and to maintain it well into the future? No problems, just take a moment to subscribe and press the bell icon to get all our future videos, and I promise you'll never miss out again. So all the armchair experts have been telling me, firstly, that you shouldn't take a Filipina to a foreign country because she will quickly become westernized and turn into a feminist. And secondly, they say once she gains citizenship in your country, she will up and leave you for another dude in your country who may be better looking, closer to her age, or has more money. So many cynical guys out there, and I wonder where they get these ideas from. Now, I'm not saying that these things may not happen from time to time, but mostly that'll be because the guys haven't taken time to get to know the Filipina. And he raced into the relationship very quickly and never really got to know her, or even many of these guys who are saying these things may never have actually even been to the Philippines, or maybe even just been there only on one occasion, and all of a sudden they're experts. And just quickly, for those of you looking for a good place to start your search for a Filipina, be sure to check out my pinned comment for the Philippines' #1 dating site, where it's absolutely free to create an account. Now, if I was to listen to these guys who claim to have so much knowledge and insight into how all Filipinas think and act, then my days with my Filipina wife after almost 6 years of marriage will be over very soon. Am I, or should I be worried, or even a little concerned? Let me try and break this down for you the best way that I can. Back in early 2013, I met my wife online and we got on very well from the very start. We spent a lot of time chatting to each other in Messenger, and as the relationship progressed, we went on to video chat. This, of course, was at times a little difficult because of the time differences between the Philippines and Australia, and the fact I was working full-time in the day and my wife was working full-time on a rotating shift between day and night shifts. Many nights my wife would not finish her work in the Philippines until 7 p.m. and by the time she got home it could be close to 9 p.m, which was between 11 p.m. and 12 midnight here where I live in Australia. So many nights I would be up chatting to her until 2 p.m. my time, and then having to get up and go to work for the day. I guess that's just the things we do to get to know someone, but it was surely all well worth it. I then went to visit her in June of 2013 for 8 days, where we got on very well, and it was clear to me that she was a good and decent woman, and we did get engaged. I went back to visit her in October of 2013 for her birthday, and I spent a wonderful 20 days with her, and by the end of that I had no doubts whatsoever that she was the right Filipina for me. Not once did she ever ask for money, and I found no differences in her stories as the time went by, which is a good indicator that someone is truthful, and there were also no red flags jumping out at me, and my gut feeling was telling me that she was the one. In 2014, I helped her to get her Philippines passport so I could organise a tourist visa for her to come and stay in Australia with me for a few months. I was very new to this sort of thing, and really I knew nothing about Filipinas or visas. I was really flying blind and only could trust my gut feelings about her. I had a migration visa to the tourist visa, and it was approved within a month of lodgement for a stay of 3 months and a provision for a further extension if we wished. In mid-April of 2014, my wife arrived in Australia and we started to get to know each other in a country she knew very little about and was vastly different to anything she'd ever experienced before. There were a few teething problems for her, especially in the first 6 weeks or so. Of course, she was missing her family and country, but was still very excited to be here and adapted as time went by. My wife and I decided to extend her tourist visa, and we were granted a further 9 months, which we were very excited about. During this time, our love really grew and we decided that we would get married in early July of 2014. Soon after our marriage, we applied for a partner visa here in Australia, which I completed myself due to the agent's fees being very unaffordable for us at that time. It was at times frustrating, but I completed it, lodged it, and we were given a bridging visa for my wife to stay in Australia until the decision was made on the partner visa. After 10 months, the partner visa was approved for the Part A, which allowed her to work and study in Australia and get access to our government medical services. 12 months later, around December of 2017, the Part B was approved and she was granted permanent residency in Australia, which, by the way, still had a condition on it to stay here permanently, which is a bit odd, which was that she had 5 years to become an Australian citizen, but she needed to wait a further 2 years before she could actually sit the Australian citizenship test, which, by the way, she just recently did and she passed. So she will, within a few months, take the oath and will officially become an Aussie citizen, as well as keeping her Filipino citizenship. So what I've just told you, from the time we met online right through to today, we've been working hard together in creating a life as husband and wife, and for our family with our teenage daughter, who we brought to Australia late 2016. It's amazing how this long and lengthy process builds a relationship, and my wife is so appreciative of the fact and my determination to make it all happen, and I'm equally appreciative of her love and commitment to me and our little family here in Australia. I tell you all this because this is the stuff you never really hear much about, and if all those armchair experts, as I mentioned at the start of this video, knew of this, then they would really understand how their so generalised comments are full of absolute nonsense. By their reckoning, my wife, who has been in Australia now for 7 years, should be totally converted to the ways of Western feminism. Well, sorry to disappoint, but I know she's still very much the same woman I met in the Philippines in 2013. Maybe matured a little more and had some life-changing experiences here in Australia, but still essentially the same. And even more of a worry, according to these armchair experts, I should now be super worried because when she officially is made an Australian citizen, she will soon after run off and leave me to wallow in my own self-pity. So she will just throw away all that we've strived to build and a life for our daughter here in Australia for the sake of getting a younger, more handsome or a richer guy. Who say she'll soon run off after she gains citizenship? That right there shows how shallow these guys saying these things are, and really shallow is a very complimentary word for these guys. And I'll put a challenge out there to any of you guys who are so confident in what you preach about a Filipina. So here's my challenge. If my wife does this within 2 years of getting her citizenship, I will allow you to make a video saying whatever you like about me, and I will post it right here on my channel for the world to see, and I'll also tell the world I was wrong and stupid before deleting my entire channel, which I've worked very hard at for the past 2 years. So all you armchair experts out there who want to take me up on this, then put the words "she will leave you" in the comments below. And for those of you that agree with me that she won't be going anywhere, then put the words "I agree with you, Pete" in the comments below. As for the question I asked at the very start of the video, am I worried? My answer is absolutely not. But the one thing I did fail to mention is that those guys that write "she will leave you" in the comments below, and I prove you to be wrong, a video will be made and aired about guys who have no idea about Filipinas, and it won't be over complimentary, I assure you. If you would like more information and tips around dating a Filipina, be sure to check out my card on screen now. Feel free to like and share the video, subscribe and press the bell icon for all future videos. Thanks for watching. I appreciate your support. Take care and bye for now.